I wanted to welcome to the stage Larissa Kennedy, Advocacy and Campaigns Officer at Plan International and Girl to Leader Delegate. She's going to be introducing our next session, Leadership, Staying Positive Through Thick and Thin. She will be joined by video message by Her Excellency Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović, President of Croatia, Chair of the Council of Women World Leaders, and co-chair of the Reykjavik Global Forum. So welcome Larissa to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Larissa Kennedy. I'm 21 years old, and I'm delighted to be presenting this pre-recorded Q&A with President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović of Croatia with you today. Before we proceed, I'll introduce myself briefly. As Rama kindly introduced, I am Advocacy and Campaigns Officer at Plan International, proudly working on the Girls Get Equal campaign, but I'm also here in a second capacity as UK representative to the Global Secretariat at Youth for Change, a global network of youth campaigners and advocacy experts working to end gender-based violence. Further to this, I'm on the board at the British Youth Council, and with all of these hats, I've been glad to see so many young people taking to this stage throughout the forum. Now onto the Q&A. Her Excellency, the President, I'd like to ask, when the Croatian men's football team lost the final of last year's FIFA World Cup, you gained worldwide praise for being extremely gracious, hugging each player from both teams, and you didn't seem to mind the rain. What was your message to the teams, to your country, and to the world?
Well, first of all, I have to say once again how immensely proud I am of the Croatian team and their historic second place in Russia, but also of the way they played and carried themselves, of their passion and heart that they left on the field. I'm also proud of the Croatian people, of the sense of pride, unity, belonging, and their love for Croatia that was so tangible and that could be felt throughout the country. I think that there isn't a single person in the world who does not know about Croatia any longer. I received so many congratulatory letters and messages from around the world from people who were inspired by the success of our national team. One of them, a girl of 14 from Bangladesh, said, "This year the whole world has recognized the small, beautiful country Croatia through the passion and the power of football. Now the world knows how powerful a small, beautiful nation can be." And that is exactly my message as well. The size of a country does not limit your potential to inspire globally. As with any great achievement, we need commitment, clear goals, and teamwork. I think that we as women leaders should think of ourselves as a team that needs to work together, take advantage of our strengths and address our weaknesses in order to make our world a better place and to inspire greatness globally. And by the way, I did not mind the rain at all.
What an inspiring message. Thank you so much. Now on to our second question. You are Croatia's first female president. Your country has had female prime ministers, and now the new Croatian EU commissioner is a woman too. Such great role models for the young women of Croatia and around the world. What are the most important issues in terms of gender equality that you as a leader are also personally confronted with?
As most other women in politics and all walks of life, I had to persist and fight for my place in life and in politics. I have pushed up and broken many glass ceilings. I had to do it often at great personal cost, as have countless other women in Croatia and the world. We have come a long way in Croatia, especially in the past 5 years. In this period, women have held and currently hold some of the most important offices of state. But that is only when discussing the political representation. We are still far apart when it comes to domestic violence. Even in Croatia, courts are too lenient toward the perpetrators, let alone victims of sexual violence, who are often looked at with suspicion. Unemployment is greater among women, mobility in the labor market is often impeded by their right to have a family. In the same vein, young women are regarded with suspicion when they apply for a job. Just a few days ago, the European Commission warned about the fact that women continue to earn less than men in the same jobs. And this difference in the average wages of men and women in the European Union means that from November 4th until the end of the year, women across the Union work for free. Even though the pay gap between men and women in Croatia stands at 10.6%, which is better than the EU average of 16%, we still need to do better. So even though progress has been made in certain segments, it is still not enough. We're still not there yet. We all need to continue working together on achieving true gender equality at all levels and in all walks of life. And just to tell you from personal experience, this also, of course, requires the change of mindsets. I often get a question, how do I balance family life and work, which is a question that they never ask of men.
I'm sure many people in the room can identify with questions like that. But given that Her Excellency is a mother of two, and as a 21-year-old young woman myself, I'd love to know, what advice do you give your daughter and young women in general?
I have dedicated considerable time during my presidency and my career to the education of young women and girls. I truly consider this to be a key issue for the development of society as a whole, domestically and globally. And I firmly believe that supportive networks, such as the Women Political Leaders and the Council of Women World Leaders, bringing together like-minded individuals with common goals, can have a positive impact on the advancement of our future generations. I believe we must encourage women to get more involved and become the agents of change. The starting point is a change in mindsets. We need to build a political culture conducive to equal participation of women. Nurture ambition and stop telling our girls what they can or cannot do or what is appropriate or not. Stop segregating boys and girls into different social roles. It is upon us to change the still widespread gender stereotypes. For instance, I raised both of my children, both my girl and my boy, in the same, absolutely the same way, encouraging them as persons and not making a difference between them according to their gender. We need to promote the role of women, but also include men in this process as active stakeholders. And I'm proud to say that both my husband and my son are such promoters. To achieve this, we need to put an emphasis on education. Education is crucial in opening people's minds, but also in our efforts to build a better future for women, and with it for men and humanity as a whole. We need inclusion, equality, and equal opportunity. Nobody should be left behind. Education has to be among the priorities of all development programs. It is the strongest weapon against all forms of prejudice and inequality. My message to all women and girls is have faith and believe in yourselves, in your value, your strength, your knowledge, and your capabilities. Be brave, stand up for yourself and for other girls and women, and never give up. There is more and more of us, both women and men, who will support you, and your determination will make all remaining obstacles fall. Never let anyone tell you that there's something that you cannot do if you've set your mind out to do it. All the best.
Thank you so much to Her Excellency, and in the spirit of being brave and standing up for others, I'd like to make an on-stage pledge to use my platform to amplify the voices of girls and young women working to end gender-based violence within a generation.